What's up, y'all? You got to see me twice today with two amazing people. Listen, I have Miss Coco Brown. Oh my goodness, y'all. She is hilarious. She is such a sweetheart, and I'm so excited to announce her on Not Your Average Therapy holiday special on this Monday evening. Welcome, Queen.
Hey, how are you, girl? How you doing?
So good. It's so grateful that you're here with me on this platform.
Thank
First of
you.
all, I want to tell you that your Amazon Prime special is so dope.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Famous
you.
enough is like, I want to talk to you about some points, some of the jokes that you told that like really stuck with me because you give like the realness of it
Mm-hmm.
all,
Mm-hmm.
but with some funny shit involved. Balance.
That's the key. That's the key. Keep it real. Keep it funny.
So, how are you doing today? Did you just
I,
get
you
into?
know,
Are you in town?
yeah. I'm home right now. Just dealing with some major renovations in my house right now. So, people say they want to own a home. Yeah, just be ready for all kinds of craziness because this was not a renovation I was planning. But things happen in your home and you got to handle it. So just been dealing with that, looking at the positive that I now get a new laundry room and a new dining room and I get to paint my house and, State Farm's going to pay for it.
Like, it's so crazy you said that because believe it or not, we had a hailstorm in September here in St. Louis
Mhm.
and it tore our house up. Had to get a new roof. So girl, I
Wow.
get it. I get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Sometimes, it's the blessing and the bull crap, honey.
Okay. So are you ready for Tuesday?
I am. I'm so ready. It's been so long since I've been to St. Louis, and I've had so much fun. I have such fond memories. I remember coming back, coming there back in the day, and so to come back to St. Louis, somewhere that I have such a fond memories of, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I cannot wait to see you in action. Like I said, I love your stand up. I love your movies. I
Yeah.
love your shows. But
Thank you.
I want to
Thank
start
you.
at the beginning, Miss Brown. I want to start at the beginning.
Hmm.
When did Farrah Brown know that she was going to be a star? Know that she was going to be on TV?
Am I? I don't know. That's subjective because sometimes I'm like, child, I just feel like plain old mama. But honestly, that's such a it's such an open-ended question. When I knew I was going to be a star, when I knew I was going to be a stand-up comedian was when I was working in corporate fresh out of college and realized that my creative nature was feeling stifled. And I always say, be careful what you ask for, because I had been kind of praying for like a revelation or something to show me what I was supposed to be doing or whatever. And it took a friend inviting me to a barbecue that ended up being the house of Chris Paul. If you ever enjoyed the Tom Joyner morning show, it used to be Chris Paul, Huggy Lowdown. And at the time, he owned a comedy club in DC. And I was just at the barbecue being me. And he goes, "You ever thought about doing comedy? You should come down to my club, do open mic." And coming from theater, I had been doing musical theater since I was 10. So I was never afraid of a stage or performing. And I had never tried stand up. So I said, sure, I'm going to come down there and try it. And the rest has been history, even though they tried to scare the hell out of me the first time I stepped on the stage. But luckily, I had some great mentors that took me under their wing and taught me the game.
So 10 years old, and that's where I wanted to touch bases when I said I want to take it to the beginning. You said
Hmm.
10 years old doing
Yeah,
theater.
10 years old. I did my first musical, first play. My fifth grade teacher, Miss Marshall, she saw something in this little girl, and they did a play and she put me in as the lead. And I was singing and acting and knew all these lines at 10 years old. And she told my mom, she goes, "This little girl's got, some talent, do something with it." So they had a local theater in my area in Newport News, Virginia, that I ended up, doing plays and did the Wiz and did the Sound of Music and oh my goodness, what else do we do? We did a lot of different plays, A Christmas Carol. And it's funny how I went all through middle school, high school, even minored in theater in college, but never thought this would be what I'd be doing for a living, because from the age of about 15, I was determined to be Claire Huxtable. She was real to me. So I wanted to be Claire Huxtable. And so I said, I'm going to college, I'm gonna get this bomb degree, I'm gonna marry me a successful black man, I'm gonna have these kids, I'm gonna live here. I had this whole plan, honey. Don't tell God your plans, honey, because he will laugh at you and throw your life left so quickly. But yeah, so it's like, people, um I've gone out for other musicals and stuff. On my bucket list is to actually do something on Broadway. But I would have to go get some more get some training, retrain this voice, honey, because I ain't been singing in a minute. I just make people laugh now.
So you are truly a triple threat. It's crazy that you brought it because I was going to ask you, usually for where you are, like you're super successful, right? So I would have thought that this had been something that you had been working your whole life towards at 10 years old, all the way up. But you have a degree in education, right? And
Yeah,
so that makes sense that
yeah,
you wanted to be the wife and the Claire Huxtable because she was bomb
right.
too. Because she was
Right. I
bomb.
wanted to be Claire Huxtable. First time I met Felicia Rashad, I curtsied to this woman because I was like, you do not understand. I wanted to be you. You were real to me. Like,
Oh,
and she just kind of like blushed. She said, "Oh, child, please." And I said, "No, seriously."
where did you
But
meet
yeah.
her?
I met her at the Tyler Perry Gala that when he opened his new studios, and we were both waiting on our cars after the gala was over. And I saw Debbie Allen first, her sister, and I had met Debbie a few times, but I had never met Felisa. And to meet her, it was like meeting my icon, my childhood icon. And even though it was Felicia Rashad in my mind, I'm like, I'm meeting Claire Huxtable. This is Claire.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I was flustered a bit, but yeah, you never know. I always tell people sometimes your destiny comes and gets you, because I never thought. I mean, I did funny, plays and stuff like that, and when I told my friends that I was going to be a stand up, none of them flinched. They said, "Oh, okay, we can see that." I'm like, "Why?" Because girl, you used to have us cracking up. You would just say the craziest stuff. So obviously, I was preparing for this career when I didn't know I was preparing for this career.
You know, use wow. That kind of threw me because I just knew that this had been in your blood for your whole life. So in Virginia, where did you go to college? You got your degree in Virginia, right? Where
Yeah,
you
I got my bachelor's at Virginia Commonwealth University. So I got my bachelor's in Richmond, Virginia, and then in a panic when I first moved to LA, and becoming a little frightened of all that was going on, and do I have the chops to make it, and freaking out, I went back to school and got my master's degree in education online.
what? So you had
Yep.
already taken that leap and moved to LA.
Yeah, yeah. I had moved to LA in 2003, and I started working on my master's in 2004. By 2006, I had a master's degree in secondary education.
Okay, so when did you just say I'm throwing this out the window and I'm about to become who I'm about to become? Like I'm gonna trust the process.
Honestly, I had gotten to a place that I was just thinking maybe this wasn't what I was supposed to be doing. And I started applying for teaching jobs. And I was getting interviews left and right in all different cities, because I really wasn't at the time, I wasn't, married. I didn't have a kid. So I was like, I can go wherever I want. So I started applying for teaching jobs in all the cities I liked. And I was getting interviews left and right. And I was setting up for some interviews. And I had recently just signed with a new agent, but I still was in this mindset of, I'm just going to get me a plan B. And I got the audition for Tyler Perry's For Better or Worse, and went to Atlanta, did the audition, ended up meeting everybody in the studio, at the studio and everything. And I thought that was very bizarre, because usually after an audition they send you on your way. But the president of Tyler Perry Studios came down and gave me a tour and talked to me. I met everybody but, the big man himself. And then literally like 3 months later, I got the call. I was literally getting out the shower, and my ex-husband, he was my husband at the time, he said, "Hey, your phone's ringing. It says Atlanta." And I said, "Oh, okay." So I grabbed the phone. Mind you, I'm sitting here holding the phone with a towel around me. And it was the president of Tyler Perry Studios. And he goes, "I have Mr. Perry on the phone for you." And I said, "Oh, okay." And he got on the phone. He goes, "You ready to come to work?"
Uh,
And that's what changed everything. Like literally, I was gonna exit stage left out the business. I was gonna become a teacher and maybe do acting on the side. And then that opportunity came and it changed everything.
162 episodes later, huh?
162 later. God, if I could see a residual.
So let's back it up, right? Because I definitely want to touch bases on the Tyler Perry show. But
Mhm.
education is obviously super important to you, and I
Yes.
guess in the midst of it all, while applying for teaching jobs and still doing work in the field because you've done a few episodes on a few shows. And
Yeah.
um, so it's just, you've just been a busy woman,
I've
right?
been consistent. I've been really blessed to be consistent.
Yeah.
There's at one point I was on 5 different TV shows at the same time as
Hmm.
reoccurring characters. So, I've been very blessed to be consistent, whether it be TV, film, stand up. I'm always working. And, I've always considered that a huge blessing. Even during the pandemic, when a lot of people were sitting at home, I was doing Zoom shows and things like that. And then when the pandemic ended, I hit the ground running. Even during the strike that we just had, the actor strike, I was still working. I was still doing stand up. I was still doing independent films, that had been cleared to do, to work during that time. So I just been blessed that, Coca Brown's phone still ring. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's very important for me to highlight the behind the scenes work and your passion with education.
Mhm.
I know that you have spent a lot of time and funds on just making sure that you were ready for the stage and ready for other opportunities that you didn't even know were coming your way. Can you
Yeah.
tell me about the Bill, is it the Bill Duke boot camp for actors?
Oh, well, I did actually the last one he ever did for adults. That boot camp churned out some of the biggest name talent out right now. Terrence Howard, Taraji P. Henson, Anthony Anderson, oh God, Hill Harper. I could go down the list. And I was in the last class that he did. It was a very coveted boot camp that people, especially us in Hollywood, were getting into. And I was lucky to audition and get selected to be in that class, not knowing it was the last one that he was going to do. That really shaped me more so as an actress. I mean, coming from theater is one thing. And I, minored in theater. I'd taken drama. I had taken classes. I'm always the kind of person that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So I was always preparing myself. I took multiple classes and workshops with other acting coaches. But it was something about getting in that Bill Duke class. I mean, Bill Duke is an amazing, amazing teacher, actor, producer, director. I can just go down the list. But he's an amazing human being. And what I learned from him in those 16 weeks was absolutely amazing. And I still use a lot of it. And even when I see him to this day, he remembers me, and I remember when I did my monologue in his class, one of our assignments was this monologue. And when I was done with my monologue, he whispered in my ear, he said, go home and clear a place on your mantle. And I said, what? He goes, because there will be an award there one day.
Mm.
And that motivated me, and then to meet people like John Singleton, who came into that class and saw me do something, saw me do a monologue, saw me do a scene, and for him to come up to me and says, don't ever let them pigeonhole you as just a comedic actress because you're much, much more. And fast forward many years later, he called me in for Snowfall, and even though I didn't get it, he still was like, no, this is not the end. He put me in American Crime Story, The People versus OJ.
Mhm.
And he constantly told me, do not let them pigeonhole you, Coca. You are more than just a comedic actress. Don't let them pigeonhole you. And because of him, that opened up the door to 911. That opened up the door to other, drama. People started to take me seriously as a dramatic actress and not just a comedic actress. And I always say I owe that to Bill Duke and John Singleton because they saw it in me. They knew it was there. I knew it was there, but it was just getting someone to believe in me to put me in the right position to show it.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. So here on my platform, I highlight a lot of artists just coming into the business, just really just trying their best to do their best in acting and rapping, whatever it is that their talent is. They come on Not Your Average Therapy. So for you to tell us how important investing in classes are is
Hmm.
amazing. How those classes really help to mold you. How it help, because
Hmm.
often we're typecast. I've been typecast so many
Absolutely.
times, and it sucks. It sucks because
Yeah.
it's so much more of you that you want to pour out and give out to the people. So
Hmm.
can you tell me a few nuggets that you actually got from that class? Not just me, right? All the viewers, they're gonna soak this up. Okay.
Hmm.
There's
Okay.
a lot of inspiring entertainers on here.
Something that I still practice to this day is something I learned in that class. And I also heard Viola Davis say this once, and I said, okay, this got to be true because honestly, if anybody knows me, they know it's the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, and Viola to me. So I study her religiously. Okay, I love me some Viola. Like I don't even think I'm worthy to meet her yet. But honestly, acting is not acting. It's being. It's being
Mm,
in the moment, being in the scene, breathing through it, being present. You can always tell when somebody's acting. And a lot of times, I've been told, like, for a matter of fact, I was told by Angela Bassett on our first season of 911. She said to me at the rap party, she said, Coca, I'm so happy you're on this show because you bring such a genuine realness to it. You make everyone relate to you. And I said, wow. And it just took me back to when, Bill and I heard Viola say that, acting is not acting, it's being in the moment. You want to be relatable. If people come up to me and they feel like they know me because of my character, that means I became her. I wasn't just acting like her.
Claire Hubbard.
So right, exactly. Like, don't get me wrong, meeting Felicia Rashad and seeing that there were elements of her that were kind of like Claire, but I believed her to be Claire. And there are people who believe that I was Jennifer on For Better or Worse. There are people who believe I'm Carla on 911. They believed I was Principal Grubbs on Never Have I Ever.
Mhm.
That is what lets you know that you're doing the job. You're connecting with people where they don't realize, oh, you're a whole nother entity because you've played this, you're being this character so genuinely and authentically. So don't try so hard. Breathe into the moments. Breathe into the character. Don't let the character suck the breath out of you.
Listen, you guys, she is dropping major gems, major nuggets. Please share this live and inspire somebody that you know that's working towards being an actor or an actress and tell them you have to
Mhm.
be, baby. You have to
Yes,
be.
right. And please don't get sucked into the whole social media thing that that's all you have to do, honey. Because when you finally get that break, we can tell that you don't know how to act.
You gotta give
Please
it to
do the
them.
work. Do the work. Okay. Look, get ready. Look, stay ready so you ain't gotta get ready. Do the work.
Stay ready.
Do the work.
You
We
know,
can tell. That's why you see the comments about Tubi. Do the work. Do the
okay,
work.
okay.
Okay. Just because you fine don't mean you can act.
I
Okay.
heard
So
that.
do the work. Do the work. And there's nothing wrong with doing the work. That actually makes you more marketable.
Yeah. Yeah. What
It does.
monologue do you do? Do you have a go-to monologue?
Yeah.
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 What is it?
I used to have one in my back pocket. It was the monologue. It's a scene from Eve's Bayou with Debbie
That
Morgan.
is me and my mom's favorite movie. Girl,
Yeah.
who?
Debbie Morgan's scene when she's talking about the three men she loved and who she loved the most.
Oh, girl, I
Yeah,
just
that's
saw
the
it.
that's the monologue that Bill Duke told me to go clear my mantle.
And is that when John Singleton told you to be more than just a comedic actress?
Actually, we did a scene from August Wilson. I don't know why I can't remember. It wasn't Fences? Was it the piano lesson? I think it was the piano lesson. We did a scene from August Wilson, and it was me and another actor. And that's when John was like, "Don't let them pigeonhole you." It was a scene from
Mm.
an August Wilson piece. I think it was the piano lesson.
That was one of the most powerful scenes in Eve's Bayou. I
Yeah.
mean, you could feel her love, her pain, her excitement through every husband that she talked about.
But then I knew that Renaud loved me the most.
Oh, and he shot Renard.
Yes,
I
yes,
remember
yes.
that was
I
my that
mean,
movie.
that was my go-to monologue. And it always shocked people because when they would bring me in for stuff, this was way back in the day because I don't even think they asked for you to have a monologue in your pocket anymore. Hell, they don't even ask you to know how to act anymore. But 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 I remember when I would go into auditions back in the day. I'm showing my age right now, and they would ask for a monologue. They would ask to see you in a different capacity than the character you were auditioning for. And whenever I would do that, they would always be shocked because they would thought I was going to do something funny.
Mm.
And I always did that because I wanted to show my versatility. I wanted to show them that I'm not just your fat funny sidekick, okay? Like
Mhm.
look at me seriously. And don't get me wrong, it takes a lot. There are definitely roles that I've looked at and I've been like, dang, I should have went out for that. But I'm a firm believer in what's my blessing is what's my blessing. And I just stay ready so I don't have to get ready. So when opportunity does present itself, eyes ready.
Eyes ready.
Eyes ready. Mhm.
So tell me about you kind of brought it up and I wanted to touch bases on it. You were saying that you went in to audition for Snowfall. Can you tell us who you were auditioning for? Like what character it was?
The mom of the main character.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
his mom.
His
His
mom.
mom.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
his
that got
mom.
you into the American Crime Story to work.
Yeah,
Um,
I didn't get that role. I actually went all the way to network, which means where you go to where the big wigs that make all the decisions decide, and I did a screen test. I actually did my screen test with oh my gosh, his name is on the tip of my tongue. I can't believe I forgot his name. But he played Hollywood on Queen Sugar. And I did my screen test with him, and why can't I remember his name? I talked to him. Oh, that's crazy. I'm getting old, honey. Okay, I have a lot going on. But I didn't get it because they said they wanted someone to be a little bit more older, look a certain way, whatever. But the same day when John called me and told me that they said, they passed on me, he said, "Well, Coca, that's all good. I'm directing this show called American Crime Story, People versus OJ, and I have a role that you're perfect for. Can you just put yourself on tape for me and get it over to me that today?" I said, "Sure." And by that evening, he called me and said, "Yeah, so you got it." And I'm like, "What?" And it was Queen Bee. I was the main juror that apparently had this silent thing going on with Johnny Cochran, who was able to sway the jury. And a lot of my scenes were me and me and Courtney B. Vance's character exchanging a lot of eye contact and looks. And when I asked John, "Why did you want me for this?" And he said, "Coco, because you have this amazing ability to act and say so much with your eyes. And I needed someone that could resonate words without speaking."
oh, that's powerful. And that
Yeah.
that's the definition of acting, of
Yeah.
being. Because
Yeah.
you told the story with your responses, you know.
Yeah.
Um, how was it working along John? Because John Travolta, I mean, personally, I think that had to be way bigger. I don't mean to, shun Snowfall, but John Travolta, come
Mm.
on now.
Honestly, I tell everybody being on that set for, God, I think we were shooting that for at least, 6 months, 7 months.
Okay.
And being on that set, you could not have paid for this masterclass in acting.
Mm,
It's nothing you could have done. To see John Travolta and to see Sterling K. Brown and Courtney B. Vance and Sarah Paulson and uh, Kenneth Choi, uh, to see these people, David Schwimmer, just I could go down the list of the people, just watching them become
mm,
these characters. Like they were these characters. You forgot Courtney was Courtney. He was Johnny. You forgot that John Travolta was John Travolta. That was Robert Shapiro.
mm,
You forgot Sarah Paulson was Sarah Paulson. That was Marsha Clark. And so to be on that set for that long, to be privy to watch such manifestation, you couldn't have paid for that class if you tried.
mm,
So I tell people all the time that was the master class that I took. Everyone was so gracious and just so nice. I ended up working again with Kenneth Choi, who played Judge Ito. He's now Chimney on 911. So I've been able to work with him for the last few years, and he's still amazing. He's such a great guy. Um, and John Travolta. I mean, it's so wild when you don't realize someone knows your name. I remember I was standing somewhere on set one time, and I felt a hand on the small of my back, and they said, "Hey, good morning, Coca." And I turned, and it's John Travolta, and I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And when he walked away, I was like, "He knew my name. He knew my name." I was like, "Whoa," and just having John, meeting Ryan Murphy, having him realize what John said about my eyes, and every scene there's a camera just on me,
mm,
and to have that ability to work with such great people. I mean, Anthony Hemingway, I mean, just you couldn't have paid for that masterclass if you tried,
mhm, mhm.
and it was just amazing. I still think about that constantly, what a privilege and honor it was to be on that set and to watch those greats work.
Here's a little clip of you going. Were you going in
Yes.
Detroit?
Yes. Well, that was a big old girl. Yes, I had just had my son in my defense.
Girl, you look good. Okay, honey. You can cross my TV screen anytime you like.
Thank you, girl. Thank you, girl. You know, it's been a
Before we,
journey.
I do want to talk about Phoenix, but before we hop into that, you mentioned that it took about 6 months for you to finish the
Yeah.
American Crime Story. So, with the
Mhm.
162 episodes of the Tyler Perry film that you did, um, for better or for not, or I'm sorry,
For better or worse, the series for
for
better or
better or
worse.
for
Yeah.
worse,
Uh-huh.
how long did that how did that take for 162 episodes?
Filming?
Yeah,
Okay. If anybody doesn't know how Mr. Perry works, honey, we shot 162 episodes, and if we had to average it out, probably in 30 days. No,
I
like
heard
no,
that, but
no,
I wanted to hear
no,
it
no,
from
no.
you.
Tyler Perry just works very, very fast. So you
Yeah,
have to be ready. You don't have time to get ready. You better come ready.
right.
Um, but that was the course over the course of 5 years. you know it shot very fast. Sometimes we would do maybe two, maybe three episodes a day.
Mm,
Tyler Perry didn't believe in keeping you there long. You better come ready, let's do the job, get our money and go. He had
mm.
other projects on deck. That man always had something else going on. So I always say it was some of the best training I ever had, though, because I can learn lines like that, which gives me more time to flesh out my character.
How did you master learning your lines so fast?
Honestly, it started early. When I was a kid, I was just really good in memorizing things. I was
Mm,
always in spelling bees and trivia things that, I would always use the children's Bible study scripture context because I can remember. So I always had a good memory. But honestly, my method is very simple. As long as I can read my lines with someone like three or four times, they just get locked in, because at that point, by the fourth time, I'm in full character. So it's coming out of my voice, in the character's voice, like it becomes part of me. It goes from me just reading lines to it becoming a piece of me.
you were made for this. You were absolutely made for this. And I want to take a break off of entertainment a little bit because,
Mhm.
I mean, you're a triple threat: beauty,
Oh,
brains,
bless your heart.
but heart. I want you to tell me about something that's super, super dear to your heart. I
Mhm.
understand that you have a foundation,
Yes,
a wig,
yes,
a
wigs of
foundation,
love.
wigs of
Yes,
love
wigs of
foundation.
love. Yes. It is my foundation that I created in memory of my girlfriend who lost her battle to cancer. She battled it three times, bless her heart, and the third time took her out. But Vanessa was an amazing soul. She had an organization in Florida called Pink Strides that she did these wonderful, incredible fashion shows and galas, and I would host them for her and, promote and help her with those. And she was doing this even when she was going through bouts of radiation and chemotherapy and lost all her hair and gained weight and lost weight. And to watch her still trying to do it from a bed when they've given her months to live. And it just inspired me. And what inspired me to do Wigs of Love is when she lost her hair uh, the second time and it was just not growing back. She used to always pick with me and say, "Girl, you be having the bomb wigs, hook me up." So I started sending her all my wigs. And so when she passed away, her daughter sent them back to me. And I
Oh,
just didn't know what to do with them. And they were hers. And I said, I know there are plenty of other women out there who
mhm.
maybe felt like her, that she felt naked. She didn't feel like herself. Now, yes, we have this bold move of women going bald and shaving their heads now, but there was a time that sisters, this was their crowning glory, and they didn't feel complete unless their hair was ready. So I ended up taking her wigs and then actually reaching out to celebrity friends of mine and just friends of mine, period, that wore units, wore wigs, and said, "Do you have any you could donate?" And I began to gift women with these wigs. And then I partnered with Kim Kimball, and I partnered with other, celebrity hairstylists, other hairstylists that needed, a good, plug to fix the wigs, style the wigs. And then I went into doing this whole event every year where I did take a break for 4 years because I was taking care of my parents. But I did my first one back since their passing this past spring, and it was absolutely amazing. We honored that was the first one I did in Atlanta. We honored these beautiful women with a celebrity weekend where they were treated like celebrities. They were sent car service. They were given a celebrity weekend of hair and makeup and a fashion photo shoot. And then they were honored at a brunch where we had, uh, you know, Dave Tolliver, we had Kelly Price, We had Rainbow Lopez, who's Lisa Left Eye Lopez's sister. It was an amazing event. It was hosted by Stevie Baggs Jr., Ebony Steele. This past year, we had also an amazing event in my home, in the town that I live in now in Georgia. We honored seven beautiful sisters who are battling lupus. I changed it to focus on lupus when I realized that lupus just didn't get the publicity and the voice that all the other diseases got. And then I realized it's because it affects mostly Black women. And I said,
Oh,
So, and then when I realized, I knew this already, but my Aunt G, who was my mom's best friend when I was growing up, she battled lupus, lost her life to it. And to see her go from being this, my mother used to call her Walona Woods. That's how fly she was. That was her nickname from Good Times. And to see her go from this woman to this frail woman that, lost her battle. So I decided to focus on lupus because everybody, yes, has a breast cancer foundation, and things like that, but nobody really does lupus.
mm,
And lupus is just as, painful, powerful. And because it's like this unspoken disease, a lot of people battle lupus by themselves.
mm,
And, I partnered with an organization in Virginia called the Social Butterflies Lupus Foundation, run by an incredible sister named Chastity Corbett. She is a lupus survivor as well. It has been one of the most rewarding things I've ever done to see these women's faces light up when they see these fashion photos, this photo, this huge portrait of them, and to know that they are more than just their condition. They're not just lupus. They are beautiful, gorgeous women who are strong and they're pushing through, and to celebrate them and see their faces, and to just know that you are not this disease, you are not this condition. It's very rewarding, and I do this all out of my pocket and through the donations of some kind
mm.
people, because it's something about seeing a sister smile and see her worth and see that she is beautiful in spite of maybe some cards she's been dealt. That brings me a lot of joy.
Thank you for sharing that. When I tell
Mhm.
you, I could see your heart when we first logged on. You, wow, wow,
Yeah.
that's
Thank
so beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. A lot of people don't get to see that image of you, so thank you for showing us that on Natural Average Therapy. I gotta plug.
you. I know that's right. Plug yourself, girl. Do what you gotta do. Plug it, plug it, plug it. Yes. Yes.
Wow. To give
Yes.
back like that to turn trauma around, turn that pain around that you went through and that your
Mhm.
friends went through, and to
Mhm.
give back to women. I mean, we all need a reminder almost every freaking day that we're beautiful, especially when we're battling something. And we as women go
Mhm.
through so much with our bodies. Diseases are not,
Yeah.
and we tear
Yes.
ourselves down. So to have another
Mhm.
woman that you said, girl, I'm gonna hold your hand through it. I'm gonna hold your hand. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure you feel and you look the best that you can while you're
Mhm.
going through what you're going through.
Mhm.
Now you know what I noticed, and I is it Coca? Are we calling you Coco and it's Coca? Girl, why you didn't get
Yeah.
me together?
Girl, let me tell you something. I have gotten so tired of correcting people. It is Coca Brown, Coca Brown, but people say Coco. They forget the A constantly. I'm just like, is it right on my check? I'm so tired. But yes, it's Coca Brown, Coca Brown. Yes.
You deserve that respect. Don't get
Thank
tired.
you.
Don't get tired. Get us
I get
together.
tired, child. I'll be like, it's Coca, it's Coca. And it's funny because I've had friends correct people and they're like, oh, it's Coco. She said, look, I know her. It's Coca.
Get me, get me together. I
Yeah.
apologize. You
It's
deserve that
no, you're
recognition and
fine,
that
sweetie. You're
respect.
fine, honey. I've answered to both. I mean, I will correct when needed, but yeah,
I want
I'm
to go
more
to
than my name.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I want to go to the comments because you are getting so much love. I don't know if you know, but this show is live and it will stream forever. It's never going to go anywhere, and it's
Okay.
going to be on YouTube. But you are getting a lot of love in the comments. You're getting hearts,
Oh, wow. Thank you. I didn't even see them.
hearts.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Also saying she's on that one show with where her brother owns a bar. What show is she talking about? Your brother
I'm on
owns
the
a
one
bar.
show where a brother owns a bar. If you're speaking about the last call, that's not me. But she
Okay.
and I do get mixed up a lot. That is
Who
Braylon
she
Evans.
doing
That is
with?
not me.
Okay.
It's so funny because we do look alike, but from the maybe the neck up. Trust me, I don't have half the ass that young lady has. Okay, so
She's giving hearts. She's giving hearts. Miss Kawana Waddell is giving hearts.
thank you, thank you,
Hearts from Patricia Dunn. April Spain is agreeing with you. Says that's amazing. I mean, you are getting some love.
thank you guys so
One of our
much. Thank
hottest
you. I really
hosts in St.
appreciate that.
Louis.
Thank you,
Back to
thank you.
Kawana Waddell. Listen, if you ever need something on stage, go to her shop, Styletania Styles Girl. She will
Oh, for real?
get
She in
you.
St. Louis?
Absolutely. Say the word. I got you, girl.
Girl, tell her to DM me because what she can bring me some options to my hotel room tomorrow.
Yes, Kawana, you heard it. I'm telling you, she's an amazing stylist in St. Louis.
Mm,
Desiree says, so beautiful. Kawana
thank
says she
you.
loves it.
Yeah.
Um, Up there's Kawana saying, oh, thanks. So she's gonna
I'm a
hit
medium girl, size 10, 12, girl.
you. Thank you guys for tuning in and commenting and being here with us.
Thank
Let's
you.
talk about your baby Phoenix.
Oh, my heartbeat, my
Let's
world.
talk about Phoenix. So you told me that Phoenix was born in like 2012. You were shooting for better or
Yes.
for worse.
Yes, I was shooting this. If you go back and look at the second season of For Better or Worse, I was 8 months pregnant with Phoenix at that time. He
What?
was in my belly. My baby was a star before he came out my belly. He was in my belly that whole season.
I
I
know that.
ended up having him literally the week before we wrapped.
How did you do that? How?
Uh,
With Tyler
by the
Perry?
grace of God, I mean, I don't know, the fortitude of a black woman,
Mm,
because not only was I 8 months pregnant, but I had just been diagnosed with gestational diabetes, which is what happens when the baby is pulling on your pancreas too much and you become a diabetic while you're pregnant. So I was on 5 shots of insulin a day, 8 months pregnant, shooting that show.
girl, you deserve
Yeah.
all your flowers. Crazy, crazy, standing
But
lions.
kudos to Mr. Perry, kudos to Mr. Tyler Perry, because he made sure I was beyond taken care of. Not only was there a medic on set just for me, to make sure that I was getting my insulin and eating and doing what I had to do, but he took very good care of me. My hospital room when I had him looked like a florist.
Oh.
Yeah.
we're getting the real Coca Brown right now. I
Hmm.
appreciate you sharing that with me. I
Thank
haven't
you.
seen, I've done research, but I haven't seen that anywhere. And that
Mm,
that is a part of being a woman and having children. And I have
yeah.
two boys, so I get
Okay.
like, oh, just
Yeah.
juggling motherhood and
The
the
thing is, you just do.
you
People
just
ask me all the time, how do you do it? I just do.
mhm.
If you sit there and think about it too long, honey, it won't get done. It'll overwhelm you. Sometimes you do have to go into a little bit of an autopilot
That photo where you were
because it's get it done, get it done. That was me and my son on a Disney cruise we
on a
took
Disney cruise. Yep.
this past Thanksgiving. We had a ball. We take the most awesome vacations. That's my little vacation buddy right there, because I get to relive my childhood through him too. I never got to go on a Disney cruise as a kid. I got to go on with my kid. You know what I'm saying? I never got to go to water parks and stuff like that as a kid. I get to go with my kid, amusement parks. I've been to a few, but I get to go with my kids. So, that's the blessing. And then, I tell people, I'm glad I had my son at 40,
Mhm.
because I had done all the running in the streets and I had seen and done all the stuff I was going to do. So, no, ain't nothing in the streets I need to see other than a check.
No, that's like it's on one of your stand-up comedies. You were talking about how you played the field, you sold your royal oats. I believe you said that.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm very happy and content being mama. I mean, and at this point in my life and what I've seen that's out there in them streets, it will take the Father, Son, Holy Ghost, 12 disciples, Moses, Abraham, Gabriel, and Isaac, and Bendigo to come to my door with a man and say, our homeboy want to meet you.
You better give us some coca on the stage.
I
And I
am
was going to
done.
ask that because I heard for men in comedy, right? They get
Mhm.
the models, they get the six, they get the,
Oh yeah, of course. He can look like he can look like a straight mud duck and get the baddest chick in the room.
and for women in comedy, it's like no options. Like your
You
success.
know, I mean, it's tough. It's tough. Because you got to think about it, as a female that's on that stage by herself with a microphone commanding an entire audience to eat out of the palm of her hand, that shows a level of confidence that probably scares some men, because they're like, hold up, this woman is too sure of herself. My aunt used to always say, honey, you got to play dumb to get them. You just can't be dumb when you got them.
Mm.
And I used to always go, be like, what does she mean by that? Now I know. but but no, I've got some colleagues that have found love in this business. A lot of my colleagues have. I just, at this point, honey, it's gonna take Jesus showing up in some Jordans at my doorstep. I can't. I don't have the fortitude for that. I just can't, because I just
Did
mm-mm.
you say Jesus and some Jordans?
Yeah, Jesus going. He can't even be in the sandals, because anybody could throw some sandals on. I'm gonna need Jesus to be special. He's gonna have to have on some Jordans, and I'm like, okay, that's okay. That's J and J's. That's J and that's the big J and some J's. Okay, because I can't. I just don't have it in my spirit. I can't. I can't. I can't. I'll be on some of these dates, and I'll be like, oh God, get me. Whoo, child. Okay, honey,
What is it? What's the turn off that we know a man that ain't bringing a check? Okay, because you made that current
course, of
famous.
course, of course.
What
I
is
don't,
it?
I think one of the biggest things is I don't need any more fans of Coca.
Yeah.
I'm good on that, baby. I got thousands, thousands,
Oh,
thousands of fans of Coca. Are you a fan of Farrah? Are you
because guess
willing to be
what?
patient and understand Farrah? I got
Tell me.
plenty of fans, honey. One of the biggest turnoffs for me is on our first date. So tell me, what's Tyler Perry like? Get away from me. See, first of all, are you getting to know me, or you want to know who he is?
You not serious. You've been asked that on a date?
Oh yes, yes. Oh, I've had a dude bring his whole script and ask me could I take it to him.
Oh, see. Okay, hold on. Because you know what this sound like to me? This sound like you need to make this a movie.
Oh girl, if I did, yeah. He brought his whole laptop to show me a script he had written.
Write it, sis. Write it, produce it, direct it, and act on
I'd be
it.
like, I mean, and I think that too, nobody wants to get to really know anybody anymore. That's why I don't like meeting men at my shows, because they see the persona, and that's really an extension. That's a personality. That's who I have to be. It's elements of Farrah, but that's a character I play, sugar. So it's like, to meet someone who understands that. Like I always tell people, Coca is bold and loud and crazy and say what she mean what she say, and will chop your head if you get out of pocket. Farrah is very different. And a lot of people think they know Farrah, but they don't. Because I don't show her to everybody.
Who is Farrah? Tell us. I tried to get her out of you in the beginning. I
You
said,
got
I did.
her. You got her. You got her. You
This is
got her.
Farrah.
You got her. Coca was in the beginning. This Coca, Farrah was in the beginning. This Coca.
Oh, I can hear the change in the voice. You came on, making sure you were
Right,
sitting
because
up.
that's the educated lady in me. I'm still a woman. I mean, you gotta understand, honey. I grew up in Jack and Jill. Don't get it twisted, honey. I had to learn how to be ghetto.
Yes,
But no, it's like there's a duality, what I'm saying? And someone that understands that when I come through my door after being Coca, I just want to be Farrah. And Farrah is softer, and Farrah needs to be held, and Farrah needs to be encouraged, and she needs to be motivated, and she needs to made to feel that she's appreciated. Like, the thing is, I can walk out my door and get my ego stroked whenever I need to. But that's Coca getting her ego stroked. Can you stroke Farrah's ego?
mm,
Can you feed her ego? Can you speak life into her? Because, honey, I don't lack in people thinking I'm the ish. I can go
mm,
outside, I can go to Walmart right now and get that.
mm.
There's
So
somebody and they're gonna scream when they see me.
let me tell you this, because what I've realized, right, with men, we have to tell them. You have to. Have you said that to a man,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah,
they,
yeah.
have they come with it, or is it still fangirling you?
No, it's not sometimes more of a fangirl. They just assume that. Um, I think the biggest thing is when you are a woman who definitely is perceived as having all her ish together
Okay.
and always on point. If you have a vulnerable, I don't know what to do moment, they're like, what's wrong with you?
Mm.
Or like, dude, I'm still human. I don't
Mhm.
know everything, you know. I
Mhm.
mean, honestly, the biggest thing that I have found that is the biggest turnoff is a man that doesn't know how to lead.
Mhm.
I want to be led, honey. I've led my life and I'm for a long time. I would love to just sit back, honey, and be like, well, I have to check with my husband.
Share this live for all the men out there that need
Ooh,
to get their
child. To
stuff
say them
together.
words with confidence and know that I can trust his decision. Ooh, child. Yes,
Mm.
Lord. Mm.
Well, you
Child,
preaching
I live for
right
the
now.
day I can say that. The day I can say, well, let me check with my husband, honey. I can't make any decisions without speaking with him first. Baby. Oof. And be confident in that statement. To be confident in that statement. Ooh, child. Mm, child.
It's so crazy because through your comedy on Famous Enough, you made me check myself, sis. You did. You made me
Mm,
check myself because you told a joke about this girl going off on her husband in the store because he wanted to go home and watch football and
yeah,
he wasn't paying her enough attention. I haven't done it publicly, right? Where I'm going off of, but he'd be watching, and I'd be like, "Oh, you still watching that, baby?
girl.
I order me a helmet, sis, just because of you."
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You got to understand. I hate to say it. I hate to say it. But no, I'm not. I'm not. No, I don't hate to say it. Raising my son has helped me understand black men. That pride kicks in early. That need to be respected even when they're being disrespectful starts early.
Mm,
That need to be right even when they're wrong
mm,
starts early.
mm,
That stubbornness, that I'm a man energy, raising my son
mhm,
has made me understand black men a lot.
mm,
Cause I'm like, oh, so this is just something that just happens. This ain't something that you teach. This is in their DNA.
mm.
you know, and they're sensitive. They're very sensitive. And it takes one person, a woman maybe, to do something to them that becomes a trigger, and they will do everything in their power to avoid that trigger, even if it means triggering you.
Mm, mm,
I've learned a lot just raising this little black boy that will one day be a black man. That a lot of the things that sisters fuss about or don't understand, look to your sons, honey, because it's there. It
yeah.
starts early, honey. It starts early. I realize I have to talk to my son in a certain tone to get him to actually listen.
Mm,
Yelling at him does not work.
mm-mm, yeah.
I mean, yelling it will put instill a fear in him,
Mm-hmm,
but then it becomes a situation where they shut down.
mm-hmm,
Black men do that all the time. Yell at a black man and see what he does.
mm-hmm.
Now, mind you, we've got these new black men now that have all the energy of women that will clap their hands, stomp their feet, and grab air and go all in and act like us, which is just shocking to me that, ooh, the feminine energy, it just must be in the beer. I've never seen so many men who have tapped into their feminine energy this way.
Mm,
But most black men that come from a very masculine place, they're not going to go back and forth with you. They're not going to yell and stomp and all that. They will shut down. And I've noticed that I had to realize that with my own son, that if I want him to do something, if I want him to listen to me, I have to speak in a certain way. I have to communicate with him in a certain way. And it's the same with black men. Except for these new ones. These new ones is different.
yeah, that's Jennifer is agreeing. She said, "Yes, I grew up with my dad and brothers, the only female in the house." I'm learning that. I'm learning that yelling,
Mm,
they hear you, but they're not receiving what you're saying. And
mm,
like you said, it
mm,
instills
mm.
fear, and it
And it's a
just
lot of triggers for them because their mamas yelled at them. This is a trigger. Honey. You can tell when you yelling at a man is a mama trigger for him. 'Cause their little veins start popping. But no, it's just I've learned. And see, in me, I'll admit I was a yeller. If I got mad, if I felt disrespected, unheard, oh baby, I could shake the rafters in the house. But now, be worried if I get quiet.
You are getting so much love. She said my favorite character on
Oh,
911.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Queen, I am so excited about Tuesday. I'm going to be front row to watch you on Fat
Come on,
Tuesday.
girl. Come on through. It's going down. It's going down. Trust me, this you gonna get all of this and more, honey. You just gonna laugh while I'm preaching.
Oh, I want to thank you so much for being
You're
here, for
welcome.
dropping all the gems, for sharing this space with me. And all of your fans are here just showing the love. And I couldn't be more grateful. I am so
Thank
grateful,
you.
Coca. Thank you so
Thank you
much
for having me.
for being
Thank
that
you so much
black
for having me, darling. Thank
girl
you.
magic.
And I hope to meet you at the Helium Comedy Club on Tuesday, girl.
I am a hugger.
Come on through.
I am
I'm
a hugger.
doing it. I'm in the South, honey. I might have some food in the back. Like, girl, you hungry? I'm in the South, baby.
Kawada says, oh, hold on, we got a few more comments and then I'm gonna let you go. She
Okay.
says, I'll be there.
All
She said,
right.
I'm gonna skip my kids' winter concert to sing
Girl,
Coca.
don't skip the babies need you to be there to hear them sing off key. Don't do that. They need to hear
Listen, I love she said sing off key.
the babies need you there to help them find their key.
I'm sorry, God said this is school night. We breaking all the rules.
I'm just saying, don't. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord.
All right, Miss Brown. I'm sure you have so much to prepare for. Thank you so much for your
Thank
time, your
you. Thank you for
energy.
having me, Sugar. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate this. To keep doing your thing. This is an awesome podcast.
Thank you so much. Have a
You're
wonderful
welcome.
night. And
You
here are all
too.
of your flowers, Queen. You deserve them all.
Thank you, baby girl. Thank you. Right back at you. Bye,
Bye,
everybody. Bye.
everybody. All right, y'all. Well, Monday night on Natural Average Therapy has been a wonderful success. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to my holiday special. I will see you guys. I might see you tomorrow with another celebrity. Maybe, maybe not. If I see you, it'll be a surprise for y'all. Merry Christmas. If I don't, I'll see you after Christmas. Thank you for everybody who joined, who commented, who showed love. I'm so full right now and so grateful. Please share, 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 send stars, y'all. I need your support more than ever. I can't do this alone. I need your help. So make this successful. Help me to bring more and more celebrities on the show. You guys have a wonderful holiday. I love you so very, very much, and I'll see you soon.